welcome to the Trisbrina Show. My lovely lady.
Brina.
And my motorcycle jacket self, Trisbrina. Here we go. So tonight we're talking about sneaky stories and negative narratives and how they can shape, even ruin your life. You got to catch these things because, well, they lead to identity, and identity dictates your reality. All right, so we're going to have a little share tonight about some craziness going on over here in the Truscott household. We got back from Las Vegas last Tuesday. As soon as we got out of the Uber, we had to take an Uber. We normally don't, but this will explain why. We got to the house, got out of the Uber, and Sabrina's dad and mom and brother were all in the car ready to leave the house to take Sabrina's papa to the emergency room. So we'll unpack that a little bit because it plays into what happened. And then, oh my gosh, it actually, in a strange, weird way, was good that it happened indirectly because we had just gotten the flu and we didn't know it. And so we got off
the flu,
like the flu. And we came home and then bang, it hit hard. I mean, that's a formidable opponent. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's still been kicking our butt pretty good here. But fortunately, Sabrina's dad, Keith, wasn't around that or her mom because they had been in the hospital for like 3 or 4 days. 5 days. Good news, he's home. He's getting on the mend. And we're on the mend too. So we were really thinking
we're
about...
all mending.
There were a couple of interesting things that happened during the week, and they were around narrative and story. So that's what we wanted to share with you today, and how there's 2 different approaches you can take. There's the Sabrina approach, which says, I'm going to reframe everything as positive. I'm the most optimistic human being you'll ever meet. Oh, my body's going through this fever because I'm cleansing myself.
Upgrading.
I'm upgrading my cellular capacity. Meanwhile, there's the other approach, and we'll say that this was Tristan's approach, who says, let me tell you audibly exactly how I feel in every part of my bones in my body. And guess what? She started getting better faster. And I started feeling stuck and heavy. And she lovingly gave me some coaching and said, have you noticed your narrative and the story you're telling yourself? You're doing very negative affirmations. And I was like, have you ever been coached by your spouse? And I'm like,
it's not fun.
Yeah. But she was right. And I was like, but it hurts. You guys know when your body hurts and you feel pain, you can't ignore it, right? Well, that's what we want to talk about. Can you ignore it or can you convert it? You want to jump in? Hello, Kingsley.
He wanted to come up.
He didn't notice any pain whatsoever. He just was playing and running around as if nothing was happening. So Sabrina and I, we do all the things to be healthy, right? We do our Qigong, we hydrate, and we exercise, and we keep this part, for the most part, very positive. But what we've noticed is when pain ensues, when pain is really strong, it's hard to be positive. You guys get it, right? And the stories are sneaky. The narrative sneaks in, and next thing you can find yourself in this negative Nelly funk. And you need someone or something to help you catch it so you can shift it. And I don't think the idea of telling a false story is healthy to you because you're like, I won't believe it. But could you convert it consciously to be, well, wait a minute, there are 2 different stories I could tell and both can be true.
Yeah, I think that's probably the thing that gets most of us is, yeah, but it's true. It's true that I feel horrible, and it's true that I haven't felt this bad in a decade. And, if I just say a bunch of positive things, it isn't the truth.
Right.
But, there's truth in the present, and there's truth in the future, and there's truth in the past, and there's relative truth, and then there's truth. So that's opening up a whole can of worms. So I can say I really don't feel well. I really feel the worst I felt in a decade, right?
And that would be true.
And that would,
I mean,
that
this
would be
flu's been
true.
gnarly. I hope none of you have it.
But there's the container that we could put that in. This is horrible. This shouldn't be happening. I think that's where you get into trouble. This shouldn't be happening. This is
Wishing it
really
wasn't.
bad. Something else should be happening. That just starts spiraling. And so I just really made an effort. And some of it's just like, wouldn't it be better to do this than not to, right? Because we already have the stress of my dad being in the hospital, my mom needing to be with him 24/7 while he's there because of dementia. We have a puppy. We have all these things going on. So for me, it's like, wouldn't it be better if I see that what's happening with my own body is an upgrade and I'm going to come out healthier and already start foreseeing the future and already start anchoring in the positive results rather than spiraling into the negative and
100%.
into the past.
Well, you guys probably get this already, especially if you've been hanging around in Satoriville for a while. But thoughts affect the body. Then comes a feeling. You marry those thoughts and feelings, you get into a particular emotional state. That emotion is essentially how you're reading your energy. That energy creates more feelings and more thoughts in the same frequency or the same patterning. That gets told over time, becomes more of your ongoing program. That then turns into the story that we're telling ourselves. And you tell a story long enough, it becomes your personality. It becomes your identity.
Yeah.
And your identity dictates how you respond to everything, to people, to your own mind, to how you engage with a solution or not. Identity is essential. But if you just peel back for a moment and go, but what's the story that's setting up the identity? And what's the thoughts and feelings that are setting up the story? And so you have to be a sleuth, like an energy detective, and identify and catch, ooh, I'm going into that negative narrative right now. I have to go back one more layer. I have to go into my body. Because typically for me, my body will feel a certain way and it'll create a certain thought. And then I'll start talking about it. So I was in physical pain. There was no denying that. In fact, I had gone to this crazy retreat right when we got back from Vegas. I'd signed up for this thing. So we were in Vegas. Sorry, backstory.
A business event.
We were in Vegas for a business event. We were co-hosting the event. We came back and I had signed up for this retreat. I went to the retreat and I was with probably about 15 other young, healthy.
Other young?
Did I say other?
Mm-hmm.
No, I said with. I didn't say other, did I? I didn't include myself yet.
You didn't.
Okay, I'm including myself.
I was 15 with other young.
Okay, I'm young too. Thank you. Are you coaching me right now? I feel coached. As you can tell, we're not lying. So these other 14 men, and they were young bucks. Like they were in their early 30s, fit, like really fit dudes. I'm almost 57, so whatever. Age is just a number. But we did this insane fitness test. No, insane. Like insane. And I had the flu or right? Like I had this thing. I didn't know it at the time. I had no idea. There were no symptoms other than I was feeling lower energy than I normally do and a bit hoarse in my throat. And I thought it was from, we've been doing all this breath work outside under the oak trees. And so I was like, oh, well, it's Austin allergies. Anyway, we did like 60 burpees, 60 lunges where you have to drop your knee all the way to the ground. We did like 60 sit-ups. We did mountain climbers. And then we ran like 15 laps. So the next 2 days, this thing happened in my body called DOMS. DOMS means, it's an acronym for delayed onset muscle soreness. Now, if you've ever had the flu, you already know where I'm going with this. your muscles hurt more anyway because you have a flu and your body's trying to cleanse. Add that to the most massive amount of DOMs I think I've had in over a decade. I'm on the bed, laying down, and I'm like, I can't sit up. But not like laughing. Sabrina, I can't sit up. She's like, get up. I can't move. I couldn't lift my arms any higher than this. They wouldn't go. They just wouldn't go. There was no muscle availability.
And the flu.
And the flu. So I bring this up because what I was feeling, this is the framework, in my body was leading me to what I was thinking. I was thinking, this sucks. This hurts. I want this to be over. I don't like this.
It's wrong. It shouldn't be happening. It's not
You
fair.
go into victim mode, right? Like, why me? This sucks. I don't like it, right? So the more I was telling the story, the more my body hurt. And I remember this from years ago when doctors told me, oh no, you have all these things with your back. And I believed them and I started telling a story. I got a broken back. I've got crippling pain because I have this and this. And I built a narrative, which was a story that led to an identity. I was the guy with the messed up back. And it takes time to unravel yourself from these stories. So you want to catch them before you create them. And they're sneaky, sneaky, because also they're objectified. They have good reason, but they did that to me. Mm-hmm. But I have this thing. Yeah. Well, let's listen to what Sabrina has to say about how to unravel and convert the story. Because you could have gone down that path.
Yeah. Well, sometimes things are what we decide that they should be. And I feel like society and friends and family and well-meaning people will say, oh, it's so sad for you.
I'm so sorry.
You're probably going to be sick for at least a week, and it's going to set you back. Your immune system will never be as strong. And there's all this very helpful advice.
Huh.
But by what we decide and what we're able to sustain through the strength of, for me, like the strength of my conviction and the strength of my faith and the strength of my mind. So I decided, as my body was going through this, that my body is going through an upgrade, that these high fevers are burning what doesn't need to be there, so that what does need to be there can move forward. The sore throat and the burning in my throat was getting rid of whatever has been said that doesn't need to be said anymore.
Oh, wow.
So that
You went
communication,
to that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, communication can be more clear. Communication can be up-leveled. Because all I was doing was laying in bed at that point. Why not turn it into an opportunity for prayer and for visioning the future? Because to do otherwise is a waste of time.
Yeah.
That's just what it felt like. It felt like to do otherwise was a complete waste of time. Do you guys relate? I see all of you that are tuning in live. Oh yeah, Monica says, oh yeah, I'm guilty of that.
Yeah. We wanted to bring this up because it is sneaky. And we all have stories that we're telling right now that aren't serving us. And we have some stories that are awesome stories. And so just look at the power of your mind and the power of how thought affects feeling in the body. So if you want the body to get stronger, do you think that having negative, worrisome thoughts is going to give your body the energetic fuel that it needs? Even if you're in your head going, yeah, but I do feel that it's true and I've got good evidence and I've got x-rays or whatever it is. That may be true, but energy dictates density. Let's talk about that for a second. Energy, which is emotion flowing through you, emotion, how you read your energy, information, is going to be the building blocks of the physical realm. Mm-hmm. Starting with the physical body. So if energy dictates the physical density, you can do the things for the physical, take the herbs, take the supplements, drink the hot tea, get the massage, do the stretching, do the qigong. All that's amazing, and it's tied into how you self-care. which is energetic as well. You're giving the body information, you're giving it energy, but that's through density to density. That's actually the longer route for transformation, still very important and still energetically aligned to what you're thinking and feeling. So if you're getting your energy based on what you think and feel into a higher frequency, it's going to affect that density so much faster than just density to density. Does that make sense? Just taking the pill and getting the massage and just working on the physical level. This is what we discovered with Satori method. Why it took so long for my back to heal was because I was going physical, 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 physical. Only looking at physical and not going underneath and addressing the energetics. That's why we want to have the conversation. So you were giving your mind and your body this incredible information. You gave it different information than I was giving. This is a cleanse.
I think it has to do with, so we're receiving. Sometimes I feel like I'm the receiver.
Mm-hmm.
There were sensations.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many sensations. And so I could receive them as so many different identities. So it had to do with how I chose to receive them, because everything in me said, receive this as a victim.
Right.
As a punishment. You caught something. Your defenses were down. You're carrying something. Like, they wanted me to be a victim.
You're a carrier.
Mm-hmm.
And you gave it to me. So now you're a bad person. Look, Robin just shared this. I can really relate to this. I believe the doctors that I could never walk again. Girl, same thing they told me. And I believed it until I decided to not.
Wow.
Now I'm walking
and doing
Satori
strong.
Yes. This is so beautiful. We know that a lot of people in our community are in our community because their bodies have been hurting. They come to these energy arts and to what we do.
Yeah.
Or an emotion. Mm-hmm. And they're looking for a solution. So we're here to preach to the choir and remind you the same way I needed to be reminded. I teach this stuff and I'm laying in bed. I can't move. It hurts, right? And there's our loving coach. What were you wanting us to talk about?
I was going to say, tell the story.
Which story?
You were in bed. Meh.
You just did it perfect. No, man, I couldn't lift my friggin' arms up.
No, he goes, are you serious? Are you freaking serious? Because...
Who was I talking to?
Me.
Oh, you're serious? Oh, about being positive.
No, because I don't know.
Well, you know
every
how much
bone,
it hurt.
every muscle, every cell, when that flu slams you, you're like, are you serious?
Right.
It's insane. How can I feel so horrible?
So if you know what's so here's extra things. Thank you for reminding me of how bad it felt. You actually have more compassion, because I was thinking about some people feel like this all the time.
Yes.
Right? Their bodies are always hurting.
Because I felt like that, and you were like, "See, honey, I'm going on a retreat." Right?
Sorry. But I didn't know. I didn't have perspective that she was actually feeling really crappy. I was like, well, feel better.
Yeah, feel better. I'll
but
see
you
later.
You don't know, right? So those of you who are in the care world that, you're maybe helping heal others and remember how bad it was. Don't stay stuck in that, but just to have compassion and to be an inspiration and a lighthouse so that others you went through that, but you got to the other side. Right? That's why we tell our stories. That's what this show's about, is inspiration and a reminder.
When I was feeling so achy all over and so weak, and it didn't even go on that long, right? We're not talking like, oh, it was days and days and days. No, just a very deep experience of it. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for my health. Mm-hmm. I have no idea how grateful I am that I just wake up in the morning after sleeping and I have the energy to get up. Because I didn't have any energy to get up and move around. And I did feel tremendous compassion and conviction to help people. Because we forget when we feel okay what it can feel like.
And you can feel so depleted, not just physically, but emotionally, and motivation is just what? Like I remember you said, do you want to go for a walk? I'm like, ha! I can't even get down the stairs right now. I'm not going for a walk. I'm staying in this puddle of sweat in the bed. Now, I do want to make an important point. We're talking about like how yucky this experience was. I do feel strength coming through it. I haven't missed a single day of teaching. And I believe that the bounce back has been so much faster because of the energy that we typically live in. Meaning, like an escrow account, we're consistent. We move our bodies every day. We breathe, we do breath work, we do meditation. We do those things so that if something, not the main reason, but if something happens, you don't, it's like getting knocked down in the ring.
Yeah.
And the guy takes a shot and he's like, yeah, but he can get back up. Some people take a shot and they're like, oh, I can't do anything. Our bodies wanted to come back faster.
And we needed them to, because my dad was coming home from the hospital after 5 days, and we wanted to be there and be strong and be able to help. Like it was like not choiceless, but it's like we don't have time to milk this.
Well, isn't that a great reminder for all of us to add to the why? Why do you train? Why do you do these practices? Why do the energy work? Why be consistent? Number one, so that you don't have to suffer. And number two, so that you can be there for others and support them, even when you're going through your own struggle. There's a saying, a setback is a setup for a comeback. You might get knocked back a little bit, but because of good coaching, you can use it to set yourself up for a comeback. So are we going to do some things to help really boost our immune system right now? You betcha. We're going to continue doing what we do. We're going to continue with our Qigong practices. We're going to throw an event soon called Alive and Thrive. We're going to have this amazing...
Because we're alive and thriving.
We're alive and thriving. We're going to do this whole event so that we can really help people boost their immune systems during this interesting season where a lot of people have more illness right now. That's what I'm hearing is the flu's been going around, at least in our area. So we're going to do Alive and Thrive. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? I know you gave me an image you wanted me to share.
So Alive and Thrive is a 3-day virtual event where we're going to do all the things that our community loves. There will be Qigong, there will be meditation, there will be identity up leveling. There's preparation to get ready for it, which is includes over $400 worth of bonuses. And if you're in the Satori community, then you have access to an early bird price that is 1/4 of the price of the ticket. But during these 3 days, it's interactive with us on Zoom. And usually the only way that we're really interactive...
I'm just being close to you because I'm doing something.
...with people on Zoom is in like a certification program. But this allows for question and answer and for us to see you, figure out what it is that you need, what it is that you're doing. And because it's not just being physically strong, it's being energetically strong, but also in your cognitive mind, in what you decide and what you focus on. There has to be a strength in that. And then what are we putting in our subconscious mind so that when these situations come up, who are we and what decisions do we make? And because that is going to determine the next 10 years of our lives.
Yeah, and it's so important to upgrade that identity to really do what we would call the ORI, the ORI work. So in Satori method, our system's broken down into 2 parts, right? So there's the SAT and the ORI, and the SAT is really the movement arts, the breath work, the Qigong, the meditation, and being very consistent with that. So we will have a lot of fun doing a lot of those moves. But the ORI, which is you do the SAT to cross the bridge and marry them together, that's owning your mind, rewriting your story. And let's tie that into today's show. Well, I wasn't owning my mind. My pain was owning my mind. Be mindful when your pain is derailing you from owning your clarity.
But it just took a little hint for you to shift.
It took a little nudge.
Yeah.
Loving nudge. Yes. And there's a saying, I love this saying, I've used it for many years. Buddha says, apparently, the noble horse runs at the shadow of the whip. Well, that flu was already kicking my butt, but I didn't need a whole lot more to be able to catch on to what she was saying. I knew she was right. And that was the thing, is I didn't even realize I was doing it. And I felt justified doing it. You ever feel justified? There's this saying, fighting for our limitations. But no, I'm really going through this. This is really happening to me. I guess in some way we're hoping we're going to get some kind of sympathy vote or some kind of help. But that's not the best way to even ask for help, because over time I find that even kind of pushes people away because they're like, oh, it's so negative.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. You are really sick and you can't get better. How does that help anybody?
Well, it's a Debbie Downer, right? Here's the link to
Poor Debbie.
I know. Why we got to pick on Debbie?
Yeah.
Dodo Downer.
Okay.
Okay. Phew, good save. If you go there, satorimethod.com/alive, is there a coupon? Do they need a coupon?
No, coupon's already applied right now.
Okay. And did you talk about those bonuses already?
Mm-mm.
Do you want to?
Okay.
All right, I'll put them on here.
Whoop.
Whoops.
Yeah, the bonuses are, and these are downloadable, and everyone that registers for the event, Yours to Keep Forever, the Spark Your Intuition, that is a guided meditation that helps awaken your intuition. It's really amazing. I would highly recommend doing it on repeat. There is the sound breathwork guided meditation, and that's really great for anybody who is experiencing some type of chronic pain or a particular body part that maybe you've labeled as, ooh, this is hurt, this is painful, that's my bum knee. And it helps you when you're feeling that tension and that pain in that body part. It gives you a technique to move past that so that you can move into ease and grace. And then the Success Express meditation, that's a meditation that helps you figure out, what do you want more of? What would you, if life could be even better, what would you like to have, do, and be more of? If you could jump into the future and see what that would be like and then bring it into the now. And then Qigong for Beginners sets you up with the 9 essential energy exercises so that you have a really good foundation before the 3-day event begins.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so there's the info. That's the link. That's what you have to look forward to. You still got a little bit to go there. Esther, thank you. She said drink half of a lemon juice, which we've been doing every morning, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, a half a cup with water, and drink it every hour. And
well, a half a lemon, 1 tablespoon of vinegar and water.
Mix all that together.
Yeah, yum.
I'll have that for dinner. Leela, thank you. She says, Trisbrina, you are the most encouraging medicine. Words, stories, playfulness, it's all good medicine. Good words, good medicine. Good energy, good vibes.
And for those of you asking, yeah, my dad came home on Saturday in real time. This is Thursday, and has gotten better every single day. It was very confusing when he was at the hospital. They gave him a lot of pain medications, which when you have dementia, it sort of
exacerbates it.
Yeah, really makes that difficult. We were dealing with a kidney issue, some colitis, and pancreatitis. He just turned 86 on Valentine's Day, so we're kind of juggling keeping all the organs healthy and working and vibrant. And my mom is amazing at taking care of him and taking care of herself.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
You are the most resilient woman, my Lord. Lots of love to Rita. The event hours, we're starting in the morning. These are Central Time hours at 10 a.m.
Yeah, we'll start at 10. We'll end around 5. We'll always have at least an hour break for lunch. But on the 3rd day, we're going to start a little bit later. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and on Saturday, we start later.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's going to be amazing. So it's March 7, 8, 9.
Mm-hmm.
Here's your link one more time. Thanks for joining us. tonight?
Yes, there are limited time replays for the people who register. But if you do whatever you can to attend as many sessions live, because it's so interactive and it's so much fun.
There's going to be movement. There's going to be meditation, breath work, qigong, and we're going to share some of our mindset mastery techniques. We'd like to dive deeper into identity work and upgrading stories and owning the mind and ways of shifting. We're talking a little bit about it tonight, but we've got some frameworks and processes to teach you that we think will really move the needle. So
You went, look who's here.
look who's here. Oh, hold your dog.
Because he's so heavy.
He's gotten so big. You guys remember he was about a leg? Look at the size of this rascal. What's your nickname for him? Stinker? Or is that your mom's? You call him something that begins with S.
I do.
Yeah. Like scoundrel?
Scoundrel. I call him scoundrel.
He's learned to steal. And he loves it. He thinks it's a game. So like, let's say he takes like a barrette.
Oh.
Right? Like that's important, apparently.
If you drop it on the floor, it's very important.
He gets the barrette and bolts. And you're like, come on, buddy. Like, mommy needs her hairpin. It's like, too bad.
No. He's hilarious. I left one of my closet doors open. He went and he took the soles out of all my shoes.
Oh, yeah. He's eating the ends of my shoelaces.
But he loves to take like all of the insoles out of all the shoes. He thinks that's so fun.
It's fun.
And you know that he knows that it's very naughty because you can hear the delight in his breath as he does it.
The delight in his breath. All right, I got to give him back to you so I can close the broadcast. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of the fam.
Yeah.
And thank you for upgrading your stories.
He's 5 months.
5 months, little munchkin. All right, y'all. See you later.